The first Christian religious and military movement, also known as the Crusades, initiated against Muslim rulers of the Holy Land between 1095 and 1099. This series of military expeditions sought to restore Christian control to lands important in the life of Jesus. The Crusades, which occurred in 8 successive phases, were a major preoccupation of the European monarchs and affected many parts of the Muslim world. This period is considered a very important moment in human history, determining the socio-political landscape of what we see today in the Holy Land of all the Abrahamic religions. And so, it begs the question, what was going on in Africa during the First Crusade? What up, African world? It's Home Team here, and welcome back to another video of African history, culture, and worldview. By supporting this channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and supporting this content. If you like access to full courses and sources, or you simply want to show your support, you may do so by clicking the Patreon link in the description box below. The First European Crusade took place between 1095 through 1099 as mentioned before, so we'll be focusing on significant events in African history during and around this time. So let's begin with Egypt. In Egypt, during the Fatimid Caliphs al-Mustali's short reign, the Fatimids faced the threat of the Crusaders who had appeared in Syria in 1097. The Crusaders seized Jerusalem in 1099 after defeating a Fatimid army led by al-Afal. In the midst of this engagement, al-Mustali died in 1101. Al-Afal now proclaimed al-Mustali's 5-year-old son as the new Fatimid Caliph. During the first 20 years of the new caliph's reign, al-Afal remained the effective master of Egypt and concerned himself mainly with repelling the European Crusaders. Nevertheless, Egypt was briefly invaded in 1117 by Baldwin I, king of the Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem. Around 10 to 20 years before the First Crusade, one king of an ancient kingdom in West Africa was on the throne during its final stages. Ruling from the capital city of Kumbisela, Tunka Manin was the most powerful ruler of the Wagadu Empire during the 11th century. We aren't exactly sure how long he reigned, but he was still in power during the Almoravid incursions into his territory around 1073. He's among the most well-documented rulers of the Soninka kings. He assumed kingship upon the death of his maternal uncle, King Basi, in 1063. Most of what is known about Tunka Manin comes from the accounts of the Arab scholar al-Bukhari. Relying on the reports of Arab traders who witnessed the grandeur of Wagadu's empire, al-Bukhari wrote detailed descriptions of the king, his magnificent court, and the imposing Wagadu army numbering more than 200,000 warriors. According to al-Bukhari, Tunka Manin was widely respected by both his subjects and foreigners, and Wagadu flourished under his rule. Tunka Manin was able to increase the wealth and power of his empire by controlling trade and levying taxes on the great amounts of salt and gold that passed through his territory. Also in West Africa, during the First Crusade, the city of Timbuktu was just beginning to be established. According to local written tradition found in the 17th century chronicle Tariq as-Sudan, Timbuktu was founded in approximately 1100 as a seasonal nomad camp just 1 year after the First Crusade. Timbuktu was centered around a well, maintained by a group of enslaved people, under the charge of an old woman named Buktu. Thus, Timbuktu translates as the place of Buktu. This seasonal camp then evolved into the most legendary African city, as it was later developed by various Mande people who came and settled in the area. I find it interesting that the most legendary city in Africa was founded by a woman. In northern Nigeria, one of the major Hausa City-States of Kano was beginning to take form. The Hausa City-States were a group of 14 independent, self-governing states originally located between the Niger River and Lake Chad. The Hausa states began to emerge out of settlements that had been in existence as early as the 5th or 6th centuries. These states then became trading centers, with merchants from rival areas of Mali and Bornu vying for the right to trade items such as gold, salt, kola nuts, cloth, animal hides, and henna. The state of Kano positioned itself to be one of the most important trading cities in all of West Africa. The history of Kano is undoubtedly the best known in Hausa history, thanks to its chronicles and the wealth of oral tradition. The territory which later formed the Kano state was initially ruled by small chiefdoms, each headed by individuals whose authority over the rest of the people was based on ritual jurisdiction. The most important of these chiefdoms were Shemi, Dala, and Santolo. In 1095, the exact year of the First Crusade, a ruler by the name of Jigamasu first established the present city of Kano when he built his settlement at the foot of Dala Hill. He also started to build the city walls, but it wasn't actually completed until the reign of his son. Along the coast of East Africa, the Swahili city-state of Gedi was in its golden age during the First Crusade. Gedi was a walled city-state situated along the coast of Kenya. Africa's eastern coast, also called the Swahili Coast, has been an active trading region for centuries. According to the Greek sailing guide Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, written in approximately the 2nd century CE, commercial trade in the region dates back 2,000 years or more. Commerce most likely began with indigenous inhabitants of the coast, trading with those of the interior for items ranging from agricultural produce to salt and iron tools. Pottery also was apparently traded, and recovered remnants indicate that it was produced prior to the arrival of Arab settlers. During this golden age, Swahili traders exported a wide range of items that included gold, ivory, tortoiseshells, leopard skins, sandalwood, and hard ebony woods. These were traded with merchants from the Middle East, Greece, Asia, and Europe. Although largely in ruins today, the architectural style of Gedi was once a testament to a great culture. A large enclosing wall surrounded a former palace with courtyards, a large mosque, and many smaller ones, as well as many large houses and pillars said to be grave markers. These extensive ruins have contributed to the region's current status as a national monument. In northwest Africa during the First Crusade, Yusuf ibn Tashfin was in the final stages of his reign of the Almoravids. Yusuf was the ruler of the Almoravid Empire from 1061 to 1106. He became a very important figure in North African history because he's the first North African to extend his borders into Europe. After gaining power, he fashioned himself as Amir al-Muslimin, or commander of the Muslims. It's said that in a year he greatly advanced the city of Marrakesh. Some go as far to say that he was the founder of the great Moroccan city itself. Under Yusuf's leadership, the Almoravids were an unstoppable force. Yusuf acquired much wealth through taxing conquered ethnic groups in the Sahara. He gained the loyalty of the Saharan men, and this power allowed him to dominate a large territory in northwestern Africa. His greatest military achievement was at the Battle of Zalaka, just 9 years before the First European Crusade. At this battle, Yusuf took on one of the largest assembled forces of Christian Europe. In many ways, this can be considered a part of the First Crusade, as Christian forces were fighting for control over territory against the Muslims. Yusuf defeated the Christians and re-established the authority of Islam in Spain. The battle was reportedly so brutal that soldiers were slipping on the ground due to the amount of blood spilled that day. After this battle, Yusuf seized power for the Almoravids in Spain, and his power grew greatly. Well, I'm all out, guys. If you like these videos and want to help in its continued production, consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.